All right. Good evening to everyone. We have classmate Albert Blair for our next Samuel J.D. Shook Junior class interview. Before we get started, I want to say that the views and opinions we express are that of our own and not the views representing those of our lodge, our Grand Lodge, consistories, or United Spring Council. Okay, good evening, classmate Albert Blair. How are you doing today?
Good evening. I'm doing great.
Awesome, awesome. Well, let's get started on this class interview. Okay. All right. So the first question I would like to ask is, why did you become a Freemason?
Um, just like other Masons, I was just intrigued of what I didn't know. Um, so it was no other Masons in my family. Um, my father always talked about people that he knew that was Masons, but he wasn't a Mason. But he talked about how they were Masons, this and that, whatever. So when the opportunity presented me through a brother that was in my lodge at the time, which is funny because he presented me a petition and I never seen him in a lodge. But when the when it presented me, I was intrigued about it and went on ahead and filled out the petition and took it from there.
Okay. Okay. All right. So how old were you when you became a Mason?
I was 38.
Okay.
I am 52 now. Um, so yeah, I remember that vividly because it was right around the time that I met my wife.
Oh, nice.
So I met my wife and got into masonry right around the same time, and she kind of questioned masonry, like, "Why are you getting into this?" And
Mhm.
I just kind of told her it was something that I wanted to do, and uh, just kind of took it from there.
All right, so she kind of like grew in it with you to a certain extent, so she know,
She did. She grew in it with me. Never wanted to be involved, but
yeah,
she has always been supportive of anything that I asked her. Of course, when you have a wife and you growing through masonry, especially when you become worshipful master,
yeah.
you need that support. So yes, although she's not a part of the organization, she's still the first lady. So I'm gonna
Yeah,
say,
exactly.
yeah.
You could work now, or what year were you work?
I was worshipful 3 years from 2014 to 2017.
Oh, okay, 3 years. Wow, that's a
Yeah,
lot.
I did three consecutive years. Um,
Okay, cool. What other Masonic houses do you belong to?
so I belong to, of course, King Solomon Consistory number 20,
Mm-hmm.
True America Lodge number 2, um, Sinai Temple number 59, and Prince White chapter number 20 of Royal Art.
Okay, I didn't get the second thing that you said. I guess you said that was the Blue House that you said second.
Yeah, the Blue House was the second.
Yeah.
True America Lodge number 2.
Okay. Okay. Cool. Cool.
And I want to add to that, tomorrow, True America Lodge number 2, along with St. John's and Corinthian, was the first 3 lodges of Ohio that actually created the Grand Lodge of Ohio, and our 175th anniversary is tomorrow.
Oh, wow. Wow. For the Grand Lodge.
Yeah.
All right. Well, happy anniversary. That's a good thing to know. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. I should see some of that on Facebook. Different brothers.
Right.
So what inspired you to become a Scottish Rite Mason?
believe it or not, as I was becoming worshipful or getting into the seat of worshipful, all the past masters said, "You need to get in to the consistory, or so that's why I did it."
Oh, okay.
A, a lot of
into it.
things that I've done in masonry happened by accident, but the result was on purpose.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. What's your favorite house?
I would say my favorite house is the Blue House, just because I spent a lot of time honing the craft of Blue House. With our Blue House, when it come down to doing raisings, lectures, funeral team, pretty much everybody come to me for direction. I do the master part of the funeral team. I know the whole funeral team. Could do any part for any lodge that needs it. Just for some reason, I just gravitated to the Blue House when it came time. I have a funny story with that. If I could share it.
Yeah, of course.
So after I had my son, I wasn't really involved with the Blue House, and I always wanted to do lectures, but I didn't, never really attempted anything. So I would read a story to my son every night. He wanted the story every night. The Grinch That Stole Christmas. Every night. It could be July, and he wanted to hear The Grinch That Stole Christmas.
Love that.
And it came to a point, he was about 2 years old or so, and we're reading the book. And of course, he couldn't read at the time, but he knew the whole story. So I was able to read a line and pause, and he will finish the line.
Okay.
So by some time, he knew the whole story. Like he couldn't read the book, but he can skim through the pages and knew everything that was on the page word by word. Nice. If he can do this word by word with every page, why can't I do a lecture the same way? So my son actually encouraged me indirectly to start doing lectures. So what I did at that point was, and actually, believe it or not, one of the first things I did was the master part of the funeral team. I studied it every day for about 6 months, and had the master part. And then I was like, well, I got the master part. Let's do the chaplain. I did the chaplain and did the other parts or whatever. And from there, it's like, well, I'm like Forrest Gump. Well, if I did this much, let's try something else. And it's been real good, for me to pick up these lectures and I contribute all these lectures and everything that I picked up based off of me reading a book to my son. So,
all right, nice. Have you told him yet of this story?
Yes.
Okay, nice.
And not only that, but I have found that my son has an incredible memory also. And through him being in Christian school, they require them to read Bible verses, pick up certain Bible verses, whatever. And, my daughter does it as well. So it's great that I learned that I could pick up these things that they're trying to do it also.
Outstanding. That's a beautiful story. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah, we're gonna switch up a little bit. What do you do for a living?
So I am a retired power plant worker. I worked at power plant for 30 years. The power plant that I worked at had shut down based off of the environmental stuff that we see in the news today. Um, within that time, I had also picked up a degree in real estate and a degree in business. So now that I'm retired, I'm selling real estate. Uh, I'm also a licensed home inspector, and I also do safety consulting for different plants and industry.
Nice.
Okay.
Nice.
Sound like a bit of a hustler there. You do a little bit of everything.
You just got to ask me what day, you know, what are you doing today? And it changes by the day, and I'm happy with it thus far. I have been retired since semi-retired since June 30th of last year. So this is a big transition time. Actually, when we were at in Philadelphia, all this was transpiring at the time we was in Philadelphia. So the last day of my job was June 30th. That was, we were in Philadelphia May when the plant shut down, and then we had 30 days from when the plant shut down to when I was gonna be out of work, pretty much.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, I had a lot on my mind when I was up there, but just try to know that everything was gonna be good. God got me. So
exactly.
God got me.
Sure. So what are some of your hobbies besides working?
Honestly, when you work like I do and you got kids, you don't have any hobbies. My kids cut grass. Before kids, I used to ride motorcycles. I done rode motorcycles pretty much across the country, and once I had kids, it was time to shut it down.
Okay. You're not part of Sons of Solomon, right?
Say that again.
You're not part of Sons of Solomon Motorcycle Club?
No.
Okay.
I seen them on the road, but no.
Yeah.
Okay. That club.
Cool.
So how many kids do you have?
I have two kids. Son Albert Jr. He's 12, and a daughter Hannah, which is 8.
Okay. I'm sure they are your new favorite hobby as well. Because children are truthfully a gift from God.
Keep you busy. Again, I'm 52 years old. I'm out in the backyard doing backflips the other day.
Wow.
Trying to my daughter's in gymnastics, and she was scared to do backflips, so I had to get my old body out there and show her how to do one. And she didn't do one that day, but she went to gymnastics Monday, and I actually came home with a video of her doing a backflip. So
nice.
That was pretty.
How long did it take you to recover from that backflip?
I won't tell anybody else, but I still have recovered. But I hurt all the time anyway, so.
What's one more for your baby girl,
right? Right.
Exactly.
When you get older like me and you have young kids, you can't get old.
Yeah.
And they'll beat you up. So you still gotta show them, like, I gotta go on the street, outrun my son. I gotta do a backflip for my daughter, just
I mean, I know. I mean, I be in here doing push-up battle with my kids. You know,
Right.
gotta do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, understandable. So how about traveling? Do you travel much?
I don't. I traveled a lot, and prior to marriage, whatever, but don't get much
Mhm.
traveling in now. Mostly everything is work or
Okay.
Masonic.
Okay. Yeah, as far as how about Masonic traveling? How was the have you got a chance to go real far within that or
Not really. I mean, just as far as our consistory or would
hmm
take me. Um,
okay.
Grand Lodge, of course. Um,
Okay.
when I was working, I worked rotating shift work.
Okay.
It was 12-hour days or 12-hour nights and rotating weekends, things like that.
hmm
So I took a lot of time off during that period just for
hmm
Masonic business. Uh,
hmm
Literally about 200 hours a year just to
Understandable.
do Masonic. So outside of
hmm
that, it wasn't much time
Okay.
to travel. But
hmm
my kids were young and we
hmm
wasn't doing much anyway. So uh,
hmm Understandable.
now we kind of open it up a little bit. But I talked to you before this conversation. So
hmm hmm
now, we're at a point that my wife could travel and go on a girls trip and I stay home and then I'm
hmm
going to Denver and she's gonna stay home. That's kind of
Oh,
how
okay.
we do it.
Cool. So you're gonna do your basically the Scottish Rite gonna be your fall traveling for now, aren't?
Right now, and till we, like I said, my
hmm
son is 12. We look for maybe another couple years that, you know,
hmm
we can't even go on a date
hmm
without worrying about a babysitter. So, we'll see how mature the kids are in a couple of years and maybe they'll gain some friends or whatever that they can go spend the weekend with. But right now is not the time.
Mm.
Cool. Cool.
So, how long have you been married?
I've been married about 15 years now.
Nice, nice. Do you guys have a big family or is it a small
We
family?
do have a big family.
Okay.
Um, we have now her side of the family, she does not, but on my mother's side of the family, my mother has um, 16 brothers and sisters. So a lot of aunts and uncles. Um,
Nice.
as far as immediate, I have two sisters and
hmm
myself. That's pretty much it.
Nice.
Oh, okay. Okay. So within masonry, what has been your most memorable moment, or some of your most memorable moments, if
Yeah,
not one
I
particular?
I went over that question a few times, and I
Yeah.
and I have a lot of memorable moments,
Yeah. Can name the
and
top few.
and those memorable moments is what
mm
got me to actually be nominated for the 33rd degree in the first place.
mm
But
mm
um, those 3 years I was worshipful master. My lodge got a lodge of the year 2 of those 3 years.
Oh, nice. Nice.
Um, I I think probably one of the most memorable is I had the opportunity to do the thrice potent master for the fourth degree in the consistory for the
mm
statewide reunion.
Oh,
Uh,
nice.
and we did a really good job.
hmm
That was I want to say that was in 2017, 2018.
hmm
Um, but yeah, we did a statewide reunion and we did it at the Cincinnati Masonic Center, which
hmm
was with the other side of the
Yeah.
Mason.
Yes. Yeah.
And
Northern jurisdiction.
just after we completed the degree, it was just um, heartwarming to have the praise that we
Mm-hmm.
got for
Yeah,
our
well,
work.
job done. Mm-hmm.
It was a good job.
Nice, nice. So as far as the memorable moments, so what you would say is one of your proudest moments?
I would probably say um, doing a raising.
Mm-hmm.
We raised 24 candidates. Um, that was probably my proudest moment. We did a district raising, and I was, a lot of worshipful masters say I did a raising, but if you, did a raising and played a part,
Yeah.
it's a different story. So
Mm-hmm.
I was number 9 in the raising, but also uh, I knew every line of the raising, every single line.
Okay.
So
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
being able to bring all the brothers in the district together, we got 9 districts, and teach them these lines. And as they were reading them, I'm like, nope, you know.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, that was probably one of my proudest moments of bringing all the brothers in the district together, doing the raising, and having the respect of knowing the lines, and not only that, being able to do the Master Mason lecture at the end.
Mm.
So that
Nice.
that's probably one of my proudest moments.
Now, with all, I know that you mentioned about doing the lectures and your memory work. You haven't been tapped for like this deputy grand lecturer or anything like
I
that.
have.
Okay.
So the last go around, I had to decline
Okay.
because it was right in the period when I was being let go
Okay.
from the job.
Mhm.
And I
Mhm.
knew it was just going to be uh,
Mhm.
too much on the family, too much on
Mhm.
me to be going
Mhm.
through this transition and worried about being deputy.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
I'm actually kind of waiting around now for
Okay. Next
for
time.
the question to come back up. And I'll be honest with you, I don't ask or beg or
Yeah.
whatever for anything. If they ask
Mhm.
me, I feel like it's my turn, even
Yeah.
when it for worshipful. If it's my turn,
Mhm.
it's my turn.
Mhm.
Anything else or any other house, if it's my turn, it's my turn. If it's not my turn, good, because I got other stuff to do. But if you ask me, um, and of course, deputy is a big decision, so that's one
Mhm.
I had to run by the wife, and
Mhm. Mhm.
we had to be on the same accord. But
Mhm.
yes, that
Okay.
it has came across, uh,
Mhm.
and we'll see.
Okay. Cool. Cool.
Nice. That's a nice way of thinking of it. Patience is a
Mhm.
virtue, per se.
Yes, it is.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Patience
So,
accomplishes all things. Wait a minute, what's the line? Time, patience, perseverance accomplish all things. That's the last line of the Master Mason lecture.
There it is.
there we go. So, what are your favorite goals within the organization?
Future goals.
Future. What are your future goals within the organization?
I don't really set future goals again. I'm
Mhm.
more of a just kind of see what happens.
Mhm.
I don't know if that makes any sense. Again, like my goal was never to be deputy. If they ask me to be deputy,
Mhm.
then I will um, entertain it. But as far as goals, um, to one of the things is just to make sure I'm there where I'm needed for, especially for your blue house. You're just probably like your blue house. Your blue house is always changing.
Mhm.
You know,
Mhm.
people that are here now are not here 5 years from now. So
Exactly.
just to be there to be able to educate the young members that coming in, and just to make sure that I'm the past master I'm supposed to be. If that's a goal, then that's a goal. But outside of that, I don't have any goals or aspirations of being, I'm not gonna say, I want to be this or that, whatever. I just
Mm-hmm.
take it in.
That's under. Let me ask you this, and it goes along with that. It don't have to be particularly about accomplishing an office or anything like that. But like for your lecture work, you have any lectures you're working on, or
Uh, Not at the present time, and the reason being because I'm the first lieutenant. So right now,
Okay,
uh, my uh, I'm working on being able to open and close the consistory without a book.
nice. Mm-hmm.
So, I want to be able to get up there, I want every line, uh,
Mm-hmm.
without a book. And
There you go.
I think that's a really good look on our consistory, seeing that um, I can still bring in the fourth degree uh,
Mm-hmm.
at the thrice spoken master.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to be the first person when I'm commander in chief. You're going to be the first person I see doing that
Mm-hmm.
degree, and then
Mm-hmm.
once you come in, I'll be in the east.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Hopefully, be able to do every line without the book. So that's kind of where I'm at with that.
I'm
Well,
kind of jealous of the fact that y'all still get to work at 33rd here in New York. Basically, once you 33rd, you're not on the line no more. They leave that for the Sublime Princess. So.
Yeah, and again, that's the way we were, and I told you
Mhm,
before that I
mhm.
was pulled out of line,
Yeah.
and then
Mhm,
they kind of looked at the line and was like, well, we need a couple of you guys to come back in, and it's supposed to be a place that they grandfathered whatever,
mhm,
and I don't
mhm.
know where it's you know
Yeah, yeah.
I
Hey,
it,
I know you're there working for your consistory. That's all that matters.
right. The biggest thing is, they asked me,
Hmm.
but at the same time, I don't feel that when somebody did something for you and then they ask you to do something
Hmm.
that the response is no.
Hmm.
So they
Understood.
asked me,
Hmm.
but I don't think my response was supposed to be no. So that's where I'm at.
Hmm.
what? Actually, this question has been on my mind for the last 10 minutes or so. What is your favorite lecture or symbolism, etc., in Blue House? Because you said that you memorize a lot.
Uh I would say the EA lecture. And the reason being because it's and we have a another past master in our lives that does a charge.
Hmm.
And I think when him and I are back to back with the EA and the charge, it's like coming in as a young Mason and you see these two lectures, it's like you should be impressed. And to me, that's coming in the door, you should be impressed. If you're not impressed, then you're probably not gonna make a good Mason going down the
Hmm.
road because your first impression of masonry didn't impress, it's just,
Hmm. Yeah. Hmm.
so and along with the funeral, I believe your funeral should be pristine. And if it's
Definitely.
not, I we had and I had um people or men come to me after a funeral and ask me about being a mason
Hmm.
because of the performance that we had at the funeral. Um, and you don't want to use a funeral for that. You don't want to think of it in that notion, but
Mhm.
That's the type of impression, the first impression you should leave on a new Mason. So for me, is that the EA lecture. Um, of course, um, the raising, the raising is important because if you're going through the raising and you're um, uncomfortable, the candidate know you're uncomfortable. They can feel you're uncomfortable. They know, So I look at these this ritual work that we do as very important, but I really think that the EA lecture that I do is really important.
Yeah, I'm trying to. Well, I know all our different rituals have different names and parts, stuff like that. So I'm trying to understand what you describing as EA lecture, because I would know the EA lecture as a question and answers. That's what I would know the lecture as, EA lecture.
So
So
in our ritual, our EA lecture is about 15 minutes, uh, maybe about 12 minutes, but if you study, how can I put this? So if you look at Duncan's,
mm-hmm.
they have question and answers.
Yeah.
So if you decipher our ritual for the EA,
Mm-hmm.
you can go to Duncan and decipher, so somewhat decipher the lecture, but
Okay.
it's questions and answers on one side and it's a lecture on the
On
other
the
side.
other side.
Right.
Okay.
So we do a full lecture, and when I meet with you, um, I can bring maybe some ritual books, and
Yeah.
we can trade
Yeah. Yeah.
whatever.
Compare and contrast.
Yeah,
Yeah. I'm thinking maybe, I don't know, is it about like the forms and the chart? It's not that, right? Talk about the charter and all that.
it's everything. It's
Okay. So it
everything.
might be, it
It's
might be
from the
equivalent to
point.
what.
It's from
Yeah.
the point where you enter the lodge
Mm-hmm.
to the point that you're at the south. From everything that you do, from
Okay. Oh, so you just mean the whole enter apprentice. Okay, ritual
yeah,
part. Okay, understood,
yeah,
understood. Got it. Got you.
yeah.
Hmm.
Oh, so I'm sorry. I may be saying it wrong. I may be saying
Okay.
ritual versus lecture.
Yeah,
So
no
what
problem.
I
Yeah,
mean is the EA lecture and not the
yeah,
EA ritual. That
yeah.
makes
Yeah, I just because like I said, I know our ritual has different things or whatever. Like it had different parts. Of course, we have the charge, we have an address, we have the symbolism,
yes,
and
yes,
then in the first degree, we have what we call the third section, and that
yes.
that
So that's
goes
what I'm
over
talking about. The third section.
probably the third section. Yeah, exactly. It goes to the form and the
Yes,
charcoal and clay and all that pivot
yes,
points of
yes,
interest and all that. All
yeah,
right, yeah,
yeah.
all right, there you go.
Thanks
Yeah,
for correcting me.
yeah, no problem. There's no correction. Like I said, your ritual job is different name than mine, so that's what it is.
Right.
Third section. I understand. Now I'm clear. Got
Yeah,
you. That's a nice lecture. That's a nice part too. I like that too.
yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, I'm sure all three of us can remember when we first came in. I was just thinking about it
Mm-hmm.
at our raising for Master Masons last October, and I was sitting there thinking like, man, a part of me wanted to do it over again, but I was like, I had to pinch myself. I, I had to
when
secretly pinch
when I
myself.
when I came into the lodge, our lodge was full of college students, and they were really sharp. And I don't know how this came to pass, but um, even one of our past master is a dean of the University of Cincinnati. I don't know if he got all these students in, but I know some of them was in the lodge before he was. So when I came in the lodge, it was about 40 members, um, literally at every meeting, and they was all sharp. So it was no reason for you not to think that you shouldn't be sharp. Now, what happens with a lodge when you have young people, especially with college students, they get jobs, they get married, they move on. So all those members of our lodge is spread across all the United States. So, and now we're probably maybe 15 members at a lodge meeting, and none of them are young. Some of the young guys that stayed there is now my age. We're all pretty much the same age anymore. But that was a big influence on me when I came in the lodge. That yes, those guys was super sharp, super sharp.
So, what do you want to change or more of within the organization?
I don't know. It's so many things that you really think about with the organization that you will want to change. Uh, um, of course, every conversation that we get into with the Grand Lodge is about attendance and things like that, whatever. Um, Personally, I think our organization is is great the way we are. I don't know how we're gonna get more people to see it, and as a different organization or something that they want to be really involved in. I don't know. I don't really have a good answer for that. It's hard for me to say that um, I went this far in this organization, but it needs change.
Mm.
Uh, it just, I don't know. That's a good question, but I'm not the one to give the answer for
Okay, okay.
Yeah, I do love that statement. Saying you've been this far, and like, how could I say it needs change? I like that. I like that answer.
Yeah, nice. Well, classmate Albert Blair, thank you for giving us some of your time of your busy schedule with your wife and children and work.
it. And I thank you guys for making this painless.
Yeah.
I will say this, I am not a Zoom guy. I hate Zoom. I'm more of an in-person, So
Mhm.
yeah, I'm not gonna say I was dreading it, but I'm just not a Zoom guy. Usually I'm not looking at the camera, I'm turned this way, not paying attention, and y'all might have seen me smoking a cigar on one of our meetings or something. I'm just not, a Zoom person. So if y'all see me in other meetings and it looked like that I'm being disrespectful, it just this Zoom stuff is not me. But of course, you got to learn to deal with it. This is probably the future.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. And you definitely did well tonight. We want to thank you for and keeping your attention. And we
Look,
definitely appreciate
look. I
appreciate
see you working now or doing something now.
Oh, yeah, I'm actually on my way to Lodge right now for our rehearsal for our fellow craft degree.
Okay.
On my way to. No word, no rest for the Mason,
Yeah, right. You got that right.
All right. Well, I can't help but I did forget to say that classmate Mark Alexander is on the Zoom as well. So, classmate Alexander, do you have anything else to say or ask classmate Blair?
No more questions. I want to say is I'm happy to talk to you. I'm glad everything's going well with you, and we just look forward to continue to grow with each other within our class.
Yes, and I look forward to seeing you brothers in Denver.
Okay. All
Well,
right.
unfortunately, you won't see me in Denver, but maybe
Okay.
Lindsay.
Okay. All right. Well, I look forward to
But-
seeing Lizzie in Denver.
in
And
Denver, exactly.
uh,
And me next time, pretty soon, sooner than later.
yeah. Like I said, I was borderline. I actually made my decision last week. Actually,
Okay.
when my jacket and shirt came in, I was like, well, where am I wear this at? Oh, a good place will be Denver. And so
Okay.
I kind of made my decision at the last minute, and I look forward to being there. You know, and brother Lindsay, our classmate Lindsay, not Lindsay, Alexander. I look forward to running into you next time.
Yeah. Definitely.
All righty, brother.
All right. Well, this conclude our class interview. And all right.